Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ehab.healthcare Facebook page. My name's Colin. I'm one of the engine room people at the ehab.healthcare workshop. I do lectures and presentations. I predominantly target men and women who are suffering from substance abuse, chemical dependency, depressions. I can do marriage counselling as well. I've got lengthy experience and various qualifications in different counselling fields. So, as I say, my name's Colin. I think I'm actually the CEO of the ehab.healthcare project. We are an online, this title is the team that feed the program, the Facebook page, the Twitter, the website, everything that we are revolves around home help addiction, intervention, treatment and education. And that's a long description, but that's who we are. There are no shortcuts. Okay, I've been running a private sector addictions treatment centre for 15 years, getting unbelievable results. And many of the members of the ehab.healthcare Facebook group are ex-clients from that facility, and I invite you guys to start feeding back now. Start giving your feedback about the quality of the influence we had on you. Okay, addiction counselling is about the quality of the influence that we leave within the heart and the mind of every person we speak to. We don't treat people as diseased. We don't treat people as maybe a lesser educated. We sit down and we relate to people. Addiction is a relationship. Addiction is a spiritual, psychological relationship. Okay, now the consumer of the substance receives a false sense of enlightenment, a false sense of significance, a false sense of connection, and a twisted sense of security. They start to feel safe around dangerous people. They say yes when they mean no and no when they mean yes. So to become a citizen of the drug culture, life has to turn upside down, inside out, and it will. In fact, stopping your life from turning upside down and inside out will be the main task. Got some news for you guys. If you've been suffering with substances, if mind and mood altering substances have been causing any problems in your life, that's addiction. You don't have to be sleeping under a park bench with a piece of string holding your trousers up to be an alcoholic. An alcoholic is not determined by how untidy they are. An alcoholic is not even determined by how much they drink. An alcoholic is not even determined by how often they drink. An alcoholic or an addict is simply determined by the consequences that always follow as soon as they start drinking. As soon as we pick up that first drink, the dog leaves home. The kids think, oh, here we go again. The wife starts filling in the divorce forms again. Okay? As soon as we start using, the consequences just take control of our lives. As soon as we start drinking, we find it almost, practically, virtually impossible to stop. That's alcoholism. And you will keep your alcoholism as long as you try to call it something else. Here's some good news for you, man. If you will face up to you, I'm using alcohol, but there are far more subtle addictions that cost more than money. The gymnasium, pornography, eating disorders, gambling. Okay? There are far more. What we are an online, we're no longer a rehab, we're an ehab.healthcare project. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to speak into your existence and hopefully turn some lights on for you, because if what we're saying is true and you remain naive to the possible consequences, it's going to kill you. And before it kills you, it's going to destroy the hearts and minds of everybody around you. Right, here's the good news. If you will face it and be prepared to embrace it, it stops becoming alcoholism and it turns into a relapse awareness and prevention program. Addiction treatment should be addiction education. What I want to offer you, firstly on the ehab.healthcare social media platforms, and then primarily on www.ehab.healthcare, the programs we've got on our website will, if you've got a chemical dependency issue, there's a program on there, the Valley of Addiction. It will educate you and empower you into the Valley of Addiction. It will educate you about how you slid into the Valley of Addiction. It will educate, liberate, and empower you to make some choices about how to get out of the Valley of Addiction. It will supervise you out of the Valley of Addiction, and then there's a 12-month program, man, that will leave you in recovery. This is not a quick lecture. Put the drugs down, everything's all right. The alcoholic who puts the drugs down is just thirsty. Okay? What we want you to do is put the substances down and see what happens. And I want to tell you something, man. And I'm going to say this from time to time, not because I'm proud of it, not because I'm boasting, because I want you to know that I come from a 16-year chronic heroin and amphetamine addiction. About 16 years of it all told, okay, with radical alcohol abuse. I used to smoke weed, and I don't like weed. But I was kind of immersed in the right's wrong, wrong's right. I'll take it because I don't like it, and I'm not going to do the stuff I do like. I'm going to keep doing the stuff I hate. And then when people I don't like don't talk to me, I think, how rude. All that madness. I've been clean and sober now for 28 years. I'm actually an ordained minister, for crying out loud. I don't practice as a religious minister. I'm an addiction specialist with a theological seasoning. Okay, I'm married to this most beautiful girl, an ex-Bethesda client, know about D, know about the 2 kids. They're absolutely fantastic. This is the new life. This is the new life. Yeah, I did 16 years of intravenous and heroin addiction, where I got to the point of sleeping in a shop doorway and using the water from the cistern on the wall above the public toilet, use water from that to inject my substances. Did not care. No concept of consequences. Absolute madness, 28 years clean and sober. And I want to tell you this much. If you will look at your substance-related chaos and call it what it is, it's an addiction. As soon as you can say to yourself in your heart of hearts, I have an addiction, it stops becoming an addiction and it starts becoming a relapse awareness and prevention program. Okay, so as soon as you admit what the problem is, the problem starts to turn into the solution. As long as you keep denying it, you're just going to walk around town with a pig on a lead covered in lipstick. Everybody else knows, okay? And when it comes time for you to try and put the substances down and it doesn't go so well, and you go back to the alcohol, that's not a relapse. You have to be clean and sober you have to have a sustained period of peaceful, productive, acceptable, alcohol-free life to relapse. You don't put the substances down on a Tuesday and then struggle Wednesday, Thursday and pick the substances up on a Friday, and you haven't relapsed. You didn't get sober. You didn't get clean. You didn't actually divorce from the substance. So as soon as you will call it what it is, it stops being an addiction. It turns into a relapse awareness and prevention program. And that's where we can step in, and this website can step in. This website, the www.ehab.healthcare website, is going to educate, empower and liberate you, your kids, your mom and dad. This is an holistic vaccine to this pandemic, this cancerous pandemic of substance abuse and chemical dependency. My name's Colin Garnett. I've got more information than you can cope with in any one lengthy lecture. I just want to come at you in some short, sharp bursts over the next few months. I want to introduce you to www.ehab.healthcare. I want you to look at the psychological, constructive programs that you can engage in. If you don't suffer from a chemical dependency, there are courses for you that can help you to de-stress at the end of the day. CBT mindfulness. We are addiction specialists. with a team of other specialists who branch out into every area that you will ever need to be supervised through. Okay, I've just said a lot, man. You might need to listen to this about 14 or 15 times. It's what I do. It can take me 2 minutes to say what your average Hyde Park speaker will take 2 hours to say. I don't think we've got much time, man. This is addiction. It kills. Jails, institution, death. Well, over my dead body. If you need contact, if you need an outreach, if you need a friend, if you need a recovery coach, I want you to follow the link at the bottom of this clip now. I want you to click on that link. I want you to follow that link. But don't follow it now and then back off. Get in. Absolutely get in. Throw as much effort into reaching out for help as you do reaching out to the drug dealer. And we will get you clean and sober.